Give us grace to accept with serenity the things that cannot be changed, courage to change the things which should be changed, and the wisdom to distinguish the one from the other. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardship as the pathway to peace. May you guide us as we serve our community. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Whittick,
Yes, here.
Beck, Blevins,
Yes.
Spurling, Fox,
Yes.
Wheelan.
Yes.
I know that Mr. Spurling and Mr. Becker is.
And just so hopefully everybody remembered, Councilman Corley had mentioned last meeting that we wouldn't be here tonight, and Councilman Mack had a work engagement pop up that he wasn't aware of, so.
Mr. Mayor, I had to leave early too. So I was going to ask a point of order if we could change anything on the agenda, but who the votes ahead? Needs to be here for the votes.
How much time do you have?
40 minutes.
Okay. Unless something really funny changes, I think we might be okay with that. So, previous minutes. Did everyone have a chance to go through that? And any corrections, changes, notes that they weren't aware of?
The only thing is, Beth, just so you're aware, you may not, Knight is spelled K-N-I-G-H-T. We have it here, Knight's Landing, N-I.
Oh.
It's just K-N, it's not.
Okay.
Where was that at? Because obviously I used that.
KH2
Not that I
under
didn't know it,
citizens.
but I didn't catch it.
Under citizens, Tanner Cleveland, person whose plans built from concrete for Knight's Landing.
Second one.
Okay. Just, yeah, typo.
Yeah.
Missed it.
It's a K and then?
K-N.
KN,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a K.
Small. But
Okay.
I went right
I move
over it.
we accept the previous minutes of 4:14.
Second now.
I'm sorry, I missed the second.
I did.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lee.
Roll call.
Whittick,
Yes.
Blevins,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Wheelan.
Yes.
Finance report.
Yeah, take all of them off tonight.
Move we approve the finance report.
Second that.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, Blevins,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Wheelan,
Yes.
Whittick,
Yes.
Alrighty, that brings us to communications. Anyone receive anything since the last meeting?
The only thing, I had Lynn Miller from First Lutheran Church approach me, and they would like, they're doing service projects through the management, some such kind, and wanted to know about if they could go on and clean up, spruce up, paint up the welcome to strikers signs.
think one of the Boy Scout groups did that a couple years ago, and we had done some research on that. Didn't the chamber used to keep those up and then?
They did. Yeah,
So-
my understanding, the chamber initially bought that.
And as long as it's a volunteer type thing, there's no issue with another group stepping up and doing that, is there?
Not to my knowledge, and not as far as the village would be concerned.
Were
I
they
wouldn't know.
requesting any monetary?
I would probably recommend maybe just check with the chamber in case they already have somebody lined
Right.
up and they've stolen a project from somebody, but no, the village wouldn't have a bid on it.
Well, they may have a date that comes to pay or whatever.
Yeah. Chamber. Okay, I'll tell him that.
All right. I didn't receive any communications at all this month. So that brings us to the reason that Mr. Thompson is sitting here. As council has requested, they are interested in having those that are interested in being the village solicitor give presentations. We do have a relatively new council. Luckily, 3 out of the 4 people are here today, so that worked out pretty good. So if Mr. Thompson is prepared to give his presentation, we would address that now.
Thank you, Mayor. I prepared some packets that I will hand out to those in attendance. As I know the mayor knows, and Mr. Blevins, was it you that was present the last time?
No.
No,
Were you?
No,
No.
I missed it last time.
It would have been Mr. Beck and Mr. Wheeler.
All right. So some of the materials may look similar.
I probably have it. Thank you.
Thanks.
One down from
Oh, yeah.
there. Would you like me to have this seat?
Sure.
Or-
Either one.
Whichever
I
you
don't
are
want
comfortable
the
with.
camera.
Whatever works best for you.
All right. Well, as the mayor indicated, I was invited to come this evening to talk to you about the village solicitor's position. I've been doing village work since I came to Bryan in 1997. I am, for those of you that might not know me, an attorney at Bish, Butler, and Thompson in Bryan. When I started, it was, I believe, Bish, Lowe, and Roth. Craig Roth and Bill Bish did a lot of municipal law throughout the county, and they brought me into the practice and kind of cut my teeth doing that same kind of work. And by the time we got to the late 1990s, I was taking over the position as village solicitor in Pioneer, where I remain the solicitor today. I believe it was 2002, the Village of Eden contacted me and asked me if I would be their village solicitor, which I agreed to do. At the end of 2009, the Village of Fayette approached me about becoming their solicitor, which I also accepted. I am the village solicitor for the Village of Blakesley as well, although as you can imagine, they do not have quite as much action as some of the other villages. During that same stretch of time, I was also county prosecutor for 6 years and an assistant prosecutor for 9 years before that. Some of the information that I've given you in the packet here is just an introductory letter to council, and then kind of a resume geared towards my duties as a representing municipalities, representing governmental agencies. One of the good things about those experiences and having experiences throughout the county is that I have a pretty good working relationship with the elected officials throughout the county, the other municipalities. We find in our practice that when the Village of Pioneer wants to do something, very often the Village of Eden wants to do something similar. The Village of Edgerton, which is also a client of our firm, but Charlie Butler is their solicitor, wants to do the same or similar thing. We find that we can save our clients a lot of money by taking advantage of those economies of scale And instead of doing a task where we would spend an hour of research and an hour drafting something and charging a client 2 hours for that, we can divide that among our villages and only bill everybody their proportionate share. Our law firm has been in existence for 107 years. So if you would choose to hire me as your village solicitor, you wouldn't just be hiring Tom Thompson, you'd be hiring a law firm. As I mentioned, my partner Charlie Butler is also very experienced in municipal law matters. He's been the solicitor at Edgerton, I'm going to say probably 15 years at least. He was previously the solicitor in Montpelier. At our law firm at one time, Montpelier, West Unity, were also clients of ours. And I had the opportunity to attend their meetings periodically and also advise their officials. One of the things that I'm kind of proud of, I try not to brag about myself too much, but the sheet that you see in there with my picture on it, that is from a lawyer rating site called Avvo. It is based upon my experience and based upon feedback received from my actual clients. And I'm very pleased to have a perfect 10 rating. I'm the only attorney in the county that has a 10 rating.
What all do you have to do to get a 10? Just,
It's based on those criteria that you see there: experience, industry recognition, and professional conduct. I think a lot of things that go into the scoring are things that you've done throughout your career, your length of experience, speaking engagements, things that you've done for the community, the legal community, memberships that you belong to, things of that nature.
Do you feel the continuity amongst the other villages, is that a good thing?
I think it is. One thing, at least specifically as the pioneer, there are 2 council members that started the same year that I started. And we've been together now at Pioneer for, this is our 14th year, maybe our 14th or 15th. And that kind of continuity is really rare on a council. Oftentimes, for example, with Eden, with the exception of Heidi Bidwell, that's the clerk there, I've been there longer than anybody else. Mayors have come and gone, council members have come and gone, and some of that historic knowledge of the way that things happened and why things happened are stored in my documents and in my head. So I do think there's some importance to continuity.
So do we have any questions for Mr. Thompson?
I just had one. Mr.
Sure.
Thompson. I gave you that paper.
Yes.
I was confused on, when I looked through for the ORC, what that said in there. Am I missing something, or is that part of the deal? I know I spoke with Mr. Hagens, and he said that wasn't possible for him because he has his law firm, he has a magistrate for the court, so it would be a conflict of interest. Does that make sense to you, or not really? Because I know that, or I think I know that a lot of solicitors don't.
It's handled differently throughout the state. As you may know, if you go into Fulton County, most of the villages have their solicitors also prosecute their cases. In Defiance, I believe Hicksville has their solicitor prosecute their cases, and the rest of the villages have the Defiance city attorney prosecute the cases, much like we do here in Williams County with the Bryan city attorney. In Henry County, I think it's pretty much the other way, where all of the small municipalities have their own solicitor act as the prosecutor.
I just didn't know if this kind of implied he he or his assistant shall be the prosecutor for any police or municipal court as an ORC, or if that meant, or if this was a section taken out, so, I know enough about the ORC to be dangerous, and it's confusing because of the cities and all of this, but this appears like under the topic of village solicitor and or law director, that was one of the duties. Everything else we followed to a T. I mean, all the contracts that I enter into, I've always had whoever our solicitor was, go through them.
One of the things that I will point out to you is that if you look at the title of Chapter 705,
Mhm.
it deals with charter municipalities. So those are all parts that can be part of a charter municipality if you chose to be a charter municipality.
Okay.
So when you're under the statutory form of government, there is a different section that deals with village solicitors. I do not believe that it has that same exact language.
I wouldn't think it would, just because of the fact that I didn't know if it was mandatory.
Shall is usually mandatory.
Yeah,
so-
that's, we kind of were talking about that as the word shall in our last meeting.
But yeah, a lot of times people will look at that Chapter 705. That's also where they find the impeachment of public officials and things like that.
Mhm.
And I've had to explain to a lot of people that unfortunately, or fortunately, Chapter 705 doesn't apply unless you're a charter municipality. And that you've adopted those specific sections as part of your charter.
Any other questions?
One issue that I wanted to raise with the council, and I'm not sure if the mayor shared this with you or not, but originally when he contacted me about coming in tonight, I was scheduled to be at the Pioneer meeting. So if you wish to retain me as your solicitor, one of the requests that I would need to make of you is to pick another night for your meeting. As good as I am, I can't be in two places this week.
I understand.
And with that in mind, I would request that you choose another night of the week in the second week or the third week. For purposes of my own mental health, being able to get a vacation here and there. If I don't have to be at a meeting every week, that would be helpful to me. Any other questions or concerns at all? A few of the other things that I provided to you were just some samples. If you go below my picture there, one thing that we really try to focus on is being proactive and not reactive. I hate it when I get a call from a client and they say, this has happened or that or has happened, what do we do now? We like to stay ahead of the game and say to our clients, the first one is something that had to do with the Affordable Care Act and a notice that they were required to give last fall. So we issued this a couple weeks before the notice was required so that all of our village clients knew that that was coming up. They had an obligation to give some documentation to their employees. Behind that is something dealing with email communication, which I don't know if you guys have had an issue with that at all, but it kind of lays out very clearly the public records requirements regarding email and how that's treated and how that can become a problem in some situations. Those are the kind of things that we like to do. As new laws are created, we may write a letter to the municipal law client saying, this is what's coming, this is how you need to react to it, this is what our recommendations are.
So, kind of understanding is what I prefer to see in the solicitor is if we say, okay, we see this section of the ORC and village information, this stuff. Gee, there's been a request if we could do something here. We present that to you, come back with something rather than just say, you can't do it. Correct. And you would.
I can certainly give you an explanation more than you can't do it.
Right.
I I can tell you, give you the code section.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, a lot of times we already know that, we know where it is, we know what it says, what, except in legalese, what does it really say, you know? So, or how can we change or tweak? Because some things can't be.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for accepting our invitation.
And I'm happy to leave a couple of packets here for the
Yeah.
gentlemen that aren't present tonight.
Please.
And if you have any other questions at all, please feel free to give me a call. Gary knows how to get a hold of me. So does the mayor.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
Sure. Did you want me to stay for anything else?
You don't need to unless you wish to sit through the rest of the meeting.
In that case, I'm going to excuse myself.
All right.
Have a good night. Good to see everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right. That brings us to committee reports, of which we have a judiciary committee. I would like to start this with, trying to read this one. In our judiciary committee, we had conversation reference the purchase of a specific piece of property if that was recommended to council. The owner of that property has requested that a price not be mentioned at this time unless, of course, obviously, we go forward, then it's time, then it would be a moot point. But prior to going in that direction, the owner would request that the price not be mentioned in open session. So, if you would, I believe it's,
Okay, we'll start with the minutes from that meeting. You want me to read all that, or?
that is totally up to you. You can present it in that manner, or if you want to just summarize, you can do that. Or if you just want to say we had the meeting.
We had our judiciary meeting back on the 5th. We went over a couple of the ordinance. One was changed and worded. After review of the committee consents to the president and council ordinance 2014-2 with the added section B2 to begin with the words after the first occurrence. And the committee also discussed section 351.11 of the Village of Stryker ordinance related to semi-parking. Village Administrator St. John suggested that we create a village-owned commercial parking lot for semi-trucks. Different locations are discussed, as well as limiting the parking to in-town residents, which would be needed to apply for their permit.
Did you want to go over the cost estimate now or during your administrator's report?
I can do that, and show you, oh, you guys were at the meeting, weren't you? So you know what we're talking about, so, yeah, I'll pass out, this is, I sketched in, what I created was, a parking area twice as large as what we have now. And I took into consideration the turning radius of the semi and go back in and all that. Each stall is $300, amazing, but the parking lot actually would be more. What I did was,
I'm sorry, I got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
What I was wrong.
Thank you.
as you can see right here is the water tank, okay? And I took some pictures of that, and I just made copies of it for you. What I did was I created an 80 foot by 180 feet and by 6 inches deep. It took into, so it came out about 7,200 cubic feet. Do the math, it's 366 tons. I rounded it off to 400 tons just to be heavy. Excuse me?
How deep was
6 inches. Look at the hard pan, which isn't much there, but that up there, the water plant. But this is to scale what this looks like. If you see, we highlighted, those are the 2 lots that we talked about. I took the same thing on the village property, and when I came through to measure it, because of, there's poles and things like that in the way, so it, you can only get that much. This right here, there's a hydrant, a telephone pole, got pictures showing, this is Stridell parking lot, right here. I mean, the actual road part goes through. You can only get that much to have a decent radius. I came over here on this side, same thing exists. There's a hydrant here, and we've got a pole close by, and then we've got another pole here, and this is the driveway, this is the tower pole where the Verizon tower is, so if you can see how that lays. If you put it here, it'd be the exact same thing as this, right here on village property. But it would take out, if you see where my fingers are going, this section and all this L out to here would be, are you following where I'm at here?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's up to the council, but from a future point of view, this line right here, guys, is the road. So you would have all of you would have 80 feet of access, come all the way back. The property is 379 feet deep. And then you would have this plus your road, plus this L shape here, because you'd only go from here. This would give you 7, 8 semis, 180 foot deep to make a loop in, pull back, and you know, just line them up.
Sure.
This price here will be $6,000. I added the stone, and the trucking of the stone, because we're only haul the stone, because it'll burn 22 ton at a time to make it work. And we got a ton and a half truck stops, you know, so we're going fuel. And so it'd be the same principle. The reason why 6,000, there's a ditch in here that has to be filled in. We have to put a pipe in there too. I'll call for this other section here would not need that. It would just go straight back. I will say that this has had crops planted in it since we last talked, so there would be an additional deal there.
Sure.
I sent this as we talked about. So that's the 2 options. Whichever way you want to go. And I think since all you are here, you know that the owner I spoke about that's, yeah.
So the one to the west, let me get this correct here, the one to the west, I'm calling it letter A, that's $6,000? That's village-owned property at this time?
Yes, correct.
Give us some measurements on that again, Gary.
It's 180 deep by 80 feet frontage.
This goes back here, and then that's off the.
How much on the front, Jerry?
So it's kind
80,
of,
80, yeah. It's gonna be 80. That's all we've got space for, because this driveway,
Right.
we're gonna put a pipe in. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is,
Yeah.
if you did this, you're taking out a lot of, you'd have to come in here, you'd have, if you put it here, talking as an administrator, not as an entrepreneur, because it's not. But if you did it here, all you're gonna, you could have access here through the road, or you'd have something in the back. But if you're really trying to develop it, people like frontage for signs and stuff like that. Here you would still be all, what you'd end up with is exit, you have your road, plus you have all of this that's property, but for development purposes, you would have 80 feet wide all the way for this, and then they could have a factory, whatever, and property all the way to the road down to where your commercial parking is. So that's the deal, and that was purchased 10 years ago.
And that would be adjacent to property already.
Yeah, it is, and it already has water and sewer on the side too, which the other side does not, but it could have it. Again, I don't know that you need it, you're certainly not gonna need it for parking. But that's available, so, that's what's on the table. The council asked me to get some quotes and stuff, and so that's your quote.
So, because the property to the east, line letter B, same monies?
It's actually $1,000 cheaper to put in, minus the purchase of the property.
Correct.
Yeah. Entry and exit for east property, I'm a bit confused. How is the truck getting in there, turning around,
Okay.
or backing in, whichever?
Let's talk. Yeah, let me grab the property B. Okay, property B then. This is 80 feet here. I measured off up into here. It's only like 130 where the trucks come in and pull, or they come in this way too sometimes and pull. With this area being so large, they can take their truck and whip it in here and back it in. They'll be all back. The next person, same thing, because we've got an additional 80-some feet, which is all we have out here where they do it coming from either end. Double that. This lot right here now is 43 feet of what they parked in. And I taped up here, so I just took the sizes and
And they can come out this section between them, correct?
yes, they'll all be backed in like Mr. Lichty's trucks are. Same principle. In fact, they pull in, then they back in. They pull in, make a horseshoe, and then all of these guys put in half that size of space.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I wanted to make the plant big enough for future, because you never know, there may be others that, if they're residents, we proposed, I don't think you were there, Steve, that they would just come in, the residents would, and get a permit. Could be for free, just to get one so that your officers know that that truck belongs there. Because we've had trailers and from Bryan and all over the place and that shouldn't be. And they tear this up, they all do, and we're constantly repairing. We're, with the bigger stone,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be an issue. So that's what you got, is that? So
Yeah.
The bullets, property B, and then when they want to exit, that parking area, this is road.
Well, you don't even need that, because right here, we're going to come in, and they'll make a loop, back here. And then they'll come in, and make a loop back here, so on and so forth, wherever there's holes. Okay. It's like a Walmart deal, if you see it.
It's flat.
Do that, okay.
Flat here.
Yeah, you save $1,000 on the pipe, but it costs you, you know what that price is.
For clarification for the newspapers, at the last parking meeting, there was a mention of semis parking within the village limits. To when the judiciary meeting, that committee met, they questioned whether we could create a parking lot for the semis instead of having them park back here behind us, which kind of messes up our parking and sometimes our logistics for other vehicles. So what the judiciary committee came up with, and Administrator St. John, was proposed possibly creating a municipal lot strictly for semis, and that's what we're talking about. It hasn't, it's not a done deal, it's just something we're discussing.
What's the proposed location?
On Ellis Street, We have our water plant, and it's potentially proposed for either being east or west of the water plant. Yeah.
And right now, it's just a proposal.
Yep, it's just talk. Nothing has been actually formulated or proposed officially.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thought I was getting some looks over there about what are we talking about?
I was feeling bad, I thought I missed something.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, thank you. Just looking at this.
Keeping it as in good here. Okay, now, we have something new in our packet this time. And, yeah, we do. It's called the clerk's report.
I saw that.
She wanted to outline a few things.
I did do one in January.
What's that?
I did one back in January.
I've seen this. Not this one.
All right, so it's not an every month occurrence, how's that? So I wanted to, since we're going over reports, I thought this would be a good time to bring that one in as well. And, because we've got some things that we would like to discuss, and then we will go into our ordinances and legislation. Would you like to go over your report, please?
Sure. The first item I had up was the record retention policy. I have heard back from the Ohio Historical Society, and they've signed off on our RC2. I'm just waiting to get it from the Auditor of State's office. And then we should, once I receive that back, be able to dispose of the records we've sorted out.
How many
Or
boxes are we
currently
up to?
sorting out. I think I'm up to about 60, maybe. I got a pretty good chunk of that room
Yeah.
over there
I
full.
got a picture I was gonna send to Beth.
I told him no.
Yeah, I would do.
I have included, well, as you can see, I included the 2014-02 ordinance in your packet of what was passed last time, and then what the Judiciary Committee is suggesting with that word change, adding that B2 section and changing the words. Next item I had is I have an ordinance tonight I would like to have passed as emergency, which is appropriations. Basically, Steve has gotten donations, a total of $750 from the Eagles, and I'd like to put that into our budget so he can use it for upcoming training or whatever he needs. It's just for police, it's not designated as any one thing, but I have created a separate line item to keep it in his budget. So, and I commend him for pursuing donations to help the budget. That's just really great. And then the fourth thing I have is, I'd like to pursue credit card, debit cards for utility payments and tax payments. And I gave you a paper here explaining it. Every time I go into the bank, they've been asking me, they say they get a lot of people there, you know, questioning why we don't take the payments, and it's a website, it's not a machine. I tried to explain the fees down there at the bottom, it's highlighted. I broke it down, the first year's a little bit more because there's initial setup fee. And
I was gonna
then,
ask, okay.
and then that's how much after that it would cost, but I believe, you know, one payment of a back tax owed with a, you know, if somebody has the opportunity to use their credit card, we'll mill her to make up that amount. I think it will increase revenue. It also, I think it'll decrease possible shut-offs. Somebody has that opportunity, not promoting people going, putting it on their card, but it's so with the future, a lot of people don't carry cash anymore. And there would be a convenient fee to cover, I'd like to see a $3 charge to cover the cost that the website charges. There's a charge from the actual, F&M comes and they set this up, and it's just a website, you go to, it's secure, allows you to take the card, take the payments, but there is a transaction fee from MPC Bank for doing that, so the convenience fee would cover that. And then the village cost would be the monthly fee from farmers, which is the $13 in your tax fees, your compliance fees. But, I've seen this, we used this at West Unity about 3-4 years ago, and it does on a wide basis. It's used pretty frequently. I'm just kind of looking for a direction if that's something council would be interested in doing, pursuing.
This is something that fiscal officer Redeker and I discussed. She brought it to my attention, and I was thinking, I pay absolutely everything. I either have it automatically deducted, or it comes out of some account. And this is something that we're lacking, in my opinion, as a village. If you've got somebody that has a back tax or a back bill that has to go to the village, and you give them that opportunity to say, you know what, here's your solution if you want to take it, not saying you have to. There is a convenience fee, as she mentioned, that the bank actually charges, so that's why we were including that, so that we could, it won't technically be costing us on each transaction. Personally, I think it's a great idea. I think it's one more way of updating and modernizing that is pretty much the wave of society. Not that we have to do it, but it is something that we could offer that would probably be utilized.
This would probably create a lot less paperwork
It may.
that way.
I don't know either, but
Make it easier.
what's your question?
When does the customer learn that he has to pay $3, he or she has to pay $3?
I think it's,
You have to post it on your door, and you have to make it known to them before you do the transaction.
And it becomes automatic?
Yeah, it automatically goes through NPC, the $3 never actually goes through the village.
a lot of airlines tell you about that. If you purchased an airline ticket recently.
I haven't flown for you.
Okay, there's a transaction fee, some of your internet purchases, which I don't do
I
that.
think it's for concert.
Yeah.
It's automatic.
Tickets for concerts, that's an excellent
Mike, you got
example.
just a few more minutes? I see you getting right back up there. We got those 3 ordinances. Without you, there's no quorum.
Oh, we didn't get beyond that, didn't we? Do you have 5 more minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay.
I just summer it up really quick with that transaction thing. The Christina Moser that does it it'd be a couple weeks out, because she's
Okay.
off this week or
Okay.
whatever. It's not,
All right. So to accommodate, let's move on, and if we have questions, we can get back to that.
okay.
Sounds good.
Legislation, third reading of ordinance 2014-02, an ordinance to repeal and replace section 925-02 in subsection B1 of ordinance 1997-11. We have that in place. We've had
I just need to know which one, if they want the current or they want what the judiciary commission.
They will tell us in just a few seconds. Bill, new proposed by judiciary added the verbiage that we discussed.
I move we pass third reading of 2014-2, new proposed one by the Judiciary Committee that has the wording after the first occurrence.
Second.
Correct, second.
Any additional discussion?
This is
Roll
the
call,
third.
please.
Fox,
Yes.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Whittick,
Yes.
Blevins.
Yes.
Third reading, ordinance 2014-03, an ordinance to repeal and replace section 925.01I of ordinance 1997-11.
This is the third reading.
This is the third reading on that as well.
I move we pass ordinance 2014-03 on third reading.
Second.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Wheeler,
Yes.
Whittick,
Yes.
Blevins.
Yes.
Fox.
Yes.
The third is the requesting that it passes an emergency, which would be ordinance 2014-04, revised 2014 permanent annual appropriations, which accepts the donation. So if you do it as an emergency, you have to request that first.
We cannot.
We can't.
We can't do it as an emergency because we need,
Oh, because of two people already present.
yeah.
That's right.
You have to have full council.
Yep,
We can wait and do it next meeting.
okay.
Is that okay if we table it?
That's fine.
So, to you?
I'd rather
Need a
sit,
motion to table it?
yes.
I'll make a motion that we table ordinance 2014-04.
Second, right?
Put this up next meeting.
Roll call?
Thank you.
Whittick,
Yes.
Blevins,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Wheeler.
Yes.
Thanks for staying on.
Thank you.
See you later.
Don't speak.
I know what you said.
Yeah, you know where he is. We just can't vote on it.
Okay. That brings us to our administrator's report. What? Oh, do you want to go back to that?
No, just,
We can.
I just want to make sure I'm saying, $3 per transaction. And the first year it costs us $344 to set this up.
Yes,
And after that, $285. The $3 remains forever.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
On that note, Beth, that $285,
uh-huh.
now is that going to be say a permanent price? That's not going to increase, did the bank say?
You know, they didn't say, but the monthly, that's based, that's all, the 285 is what's down here on the bottom. Okay, your 59 one-time setup fee, your 99, $30 IRS fee, and right now it's $13 monthly. And that's a set.
There's a $129 annual fee, and then there's an $8, actually a $13 monthly fee.
And the IRS and the compliance fee probably won't change. What if F&M raises their monthly fee for it? I don't know. So your $3 is the wash because that's the top part of your convenient. That's what PNC charges per transaction.
Okay.
So it's, you're not gaining that
Right.
$3.
No, we're not seeing, no, I understand. Okay. Thanks.
Is there anything else you needed to highlight or?
I'd just like to say our budget's doing pretty good. We're up. Overall, from when we finished the year, we're up like 14,000, and this month was a really good month. Of course, with the taxes coming
Yeah,
in,
right.
our revenue versus our expenses, so, just I think we're headed in the right direction,
That's good.
to
That's good. Good.
Now that brings us to administrative report.
Took the bulk out with that, excuse me, parking lot. Okay. So, just a quick update this morning, walking the water plant, the screen was black again. Didn't know if we had the same issue or whatever, but evidently we had some lightning or something, must have hit the water tank, because it took out our surge protector and our battery backup. And it just was black, and we couldn't get nothing to go. Long story short, disconnected it all, called the factory, they walked us through it, and I used one of the girls' surge protectors that they give me back for protection for right now, and I plugged that in because we didn't have water and the tank was getting low. And because he killed the backup and everything, they didn't even call us out to tell us that it was getting low, so it was good timing that he still had some water and all. So we plugged it in, and we got a surge protector, and I called the factory to get the original surge protector and battery backup replacement. And of course, that's not under warranty anymore, because it's a long time, but, so that's what's going on there. We did have a water leak back, way late in the winter here, where we didn't have water to the garage. We fixed that. I called Jim Hicks, let him know, so the squad can have water again. They had access to ours, but now they've got their own thing, so that's good. We fabricated a winch for a backhoe, and we pulled the pumps, and I had pictures of that. It looked pretty cool, though. The guys can now stand up instead of, they're like 25 feet down, and they're huge, many thousand pounds, so we put the backhoe over it and used a big electric battery-powered winch. If you notice, the stoplight down here by the school is not flashing. This is our third episode with those flashing lights. I called in, waiting for a response back. They did replace them, no charge, but I don't know if the other ones that we bought originally, way back in the day, they're still working. And, but the LED flashers, I don't know if it takes more power for them, and when the batteries go dead, we don't have enough sun in this area, or what, no idea, but they don't even know why, but whatever it is, we went through 3 warranties, and this is our 4th, so we went through the whole gambit. So that's why it's not flashing, just waiting on the parts. The old ones were real easy, we could go to them and replace the batteries. These are special, they're all in one unit, they're big, long stickers. I spoke with John Masser, he's with CCNO under that Judge Stelzer's program, and his crew will be trimming at the cemetery every week as needed. So that should be a considerable savings for the village also. We get the labor for free. We provide the weed trimmers and gas and the material. I picked up extra goggles and ear protection for them, just a disposable kind, naturally.
Right.
And so they're excited, and so are we on that. Here.
I thought they were gonna disband that program.
No, this isn't the CCNO program. This, John Matthews from CCNO. These guys are from, my understanding, through Judge Stelzer started the program with, I don't know if it was Dennis Sullivan or who it was exactly, of CCNO. And he wanted to send some of these, I don't know, they got in trouble or whatever, but basically work group. And this is different. They have, John actually works with, they're the ones that painted all our curbs and painted inside. They do a great job. John's a great guy, real responsible. He only has a certain amount, so we can take 4 guys out. And he's starting, it's gonna be Wednesday at 8 o'clock. He's gonna meet me in here. And then go through the daytime, and he should be able to knock it out with 4 guys in one day. That's a lot of trimming. It's dizzy. No, right, yes, yeah, they get to go home.
Okay.
That's my understanding. So,
Similar, yeah.
one other thing, back up to the water plant. I talked to Butch tonight before the council meeting, he called me back. And over the weekend, I noticed when I was doing the testing, I would have a red screen come up, and it would say that we were out of communication at the school tower. And I would clear it, and then it would go ahead and tell me that the sensors not reading. I would clear that, and then it would go back to normal. when I talked to Tonka about the black screen, what do we do? I also mentioned that to him, that this was happening, we need to get that going. What that does is that controls the park tower, we're working off the Faro tower. So, we're not in any problem as long as we're plugged in, but we need to get it fixed. So Bush called me, about 5 o'clock today and this evening, and we're gonna meet out there at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So hopefully, because he's the one that wired it, put it in. Because it's not on the plant side, because the guy said I wouldn't be able to clear if it wasn't on the other end. So we'll see what happens. Bush said he's got a couple hours to get the work to try to troubleshoot. And the water machine was out of order. It was busted. We had Jason re-weld it. And then when we got into it, I saw some little numbers, and long story short, I was able to raise the water rates to the rates that we have now. And so we had assigned 6 quarters, and the guys took a little stencil and hand painted a sign that says, now 50 cents per 100 instead of 25 cents per 100. So if you get complaints, hey, I'm only getting 50 gallons for a quarter, that's right. That's the right amount. And that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Village officials.
All right, good evening, gents. I guess just looking over the report, just gonna just start off. Lieutenant Tree, Sergeant Mendez, and I are going down to Dayton next week. Probably one of the biggest. This is for the Ohio Tactical Officers Association. The OTOA is one of the biggest in the nation as far as tactical officers. You have the NTOA, which is National Tactical Officers Association. But the OTOA statewide is one of the biggest gatherings that across the nation. I mean, I think they have almost 800 officers that are going to be there. Perfect opportunity to do some networking and things of that nature. We get individual training. I'm going to be going to tactical leadership. Lieutenant Treese is going to be going to resolution of barricaded subjects, and then Sergeant Mendez and Reagan are going to be doing the tactical canine. That's going to involve live fire and light work and a lot of other training. I will tell you that Sergeant Mendez and Reagan are coming along very nice. They've, in the short time that she's been in service, they're starting to gain a very good reputation around the Northwest Ohio region. He's been going to training about every 2 weeks. Typically, the dog handlers in the area. I mean, as far east as even Sandusky, even a little bit east of there, they often get together, and Reagan has been doing a fantastic job.
Where does he go for that training?
All over the
All over,
place. Yeah,
okay.
he went to Wauseon for a 2-day class, and just a reminder, this is on his own dime. But again, he's taking off work, to go to these trainings, and just doing a great job. And she's really coming along nice.
Good.
So, click it or ticket, that's coming up. I'll just say it right now, the officers are going to be quite aggressive on traffic. That doesn't mean you got 3 mile an hour over the speed limit, but when we say aggressive, we mean citation-wise as far as seat belts go. I gave the officers a directive. They will write a seatbelt violation or a seatbelt citation for a seatbelt violation. I suggested that they give a written warning for the probable cause for the stop, and then write a citation for the seatbelt if they find it unbuckled. So that was my direction to them. And again, I don't tell the officers they have their own parameters on speed, stop signs, things of that nature. I have what I pull over and where I cite, and they have theirs, and I don't set any guidelines on that. So they know that. and they know that they have, that's on them, on where they set their own. So, going over the monthly stats, 81 calls for service since the last time we met, 23 traffic warnings, 16 citations, 4 adult arrests and 1 juvenile arrest. You will see that our traffic citations are up. I would even say dramatically. We typically will average maybe 4 to 6 citations per month, but they haven't changed a thing on what they do and where, like I said, where they cite. It's just that people, I think we have more, it's getting warmer, more cars out on the road, people traveling, a little bit more of a hurry to get places and not paying attention. So that's what it is.
The ordinance violations that are open, is that right?
Oh, yeah. And that's another thing I'd like to put in the paper. I mean, we have several, and I just initiated 3 more today. So, and as a matter of fact, the last page. Yeah, the last.
Last one, very last one.
Yeah, the very last one. Well, you have the 5. Yeah, the 5 on the 7th. The 5 violations on the 7th. And I think I had 3 more after I printed this on the 8th, and I just initiated 3 more today. So we have a lot of tall grass, and we're going to get pretty aggressive. And again, I did say something to Councilman Whittick on our notification process. I would like the council to revisit that and see what we can do on that notification.
Do you know?
Dan, that looked like a good buck. Good luck on that one.
Do you know the ordinance number right offhand?
54306.
543.
That is the tall grass, but the notification is in the 543 section. Right now, I think we're just spending way too much money on notification process. It's either got to be personally, I hand them the violation, let them know they have either 7 days for the, to mow the grass or 10 days to move a vehicle. Or we have to put it in the paper. It was just in there today. And that's typically how much, Beth? I mean, I don't get the bill on that, but it's
It's probably about $35.
$35 to put that legal ad in. To send a certified mail, that is our other option. And that's what, $7, $8?
Yeah.
And that's per, and I can't, that's not a mass mailing, that's per property.
Right.
So,
So here you got 8 up.
right,
That's the same one, Steve?
I'm sorry.
Same people?
A lot of times, yes. Yeah.
So you prefer certified if possible?
No, I would prefer to post it on the property.
Okay.
And that's all I have to do. West Unity does it, Montpelier does it, the city of Fryden does
I
it.
mean, we're paying them in gas, but it's still got to be cheaper than some of these other type of people out there. I mean, and it's more, it's right there right now.
Right, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Steve, when you stick that in their yard, which I think is what we should be doing, do they also get a personal notice?
No, that is their notice.
So like at 106 that we talked about there on Church Street,
Mhm.
how does he find out if he doesn't drive by?
It's the same concept as if I put it in the paper.
Yeah, you might not read it.
They have to read it in the paper. Or somebody tells them on Facebook.
And then guys.
One of the two.
Does the post usually, what I've seen in other villages, it includes the violation number?
Yeah, everything.
And everything on it,
Everything is
too.
on there.
Take a
It's just
picture
that,
of
yeah,
the
absolutely.
address
You
too,
post
right?
it, you take a picture of it, and that is their notification.
Maybe put it on Facebook.
Put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Steve, how do you know that, I mean, can you back up enough to show the address or something, or identify the
Oh,
grass?
well,
with the
typically,
building?
you know, if it gets to that point, yes. I mean, if you're gonna conduct a proper investigation, you know, you should have your ruler out there that, you know, showing the grass is
Right.
above it. Yeah, you know, we typically will take photographs of that residence, you know, of the house number, back up to get the full view.
Sure.
you
Yeah,
know,
I
and-
think for the two new council people that are here, when Steve brought that up before, that seemed like the preferred method, but our solicitor recommended against it because he didn't, I forget what, do you remember why? I know that.
Because it wasn't a summons, or it wasn't a, you know, a sort of a subpoena. It wasn't an official,
He said it
you
wasn't
have
an
officially,
official
you have officially been
Okay.
served.
Yeah.
You know, that was his.
I kind of,
But-
if our police officials are taking it, it seems pretty official.
Right.
But that's another ordinance that if you choose, that's,
Yeah.
but, boy, I
But
like an attorney, like what you said, hey, here's what we want to accomplish, how do we make it do it?
Yeah.
And then let them bring it back, and then you and I and Steve, and we don't have to play attorney.
Right,
And
We shouldn't be.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but, you know, we have multiple municipalities within the county that are using the exact same process.
Can you contact them and have them supply you?
With the ordinance?
Well, with any issues that they have had,
Oh, sure.
possibly by doing it that way, so that maybe we can see some headaches.
Now, I know
before they
Bryan, the
occur.
city of Bryan, their engineering department, that's on them. I'm almost positive that engineering does that in the city of Bryan, but, you know, as far as West Unity and Montpelier, police department does theirs, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe contact them,
Sure.
who goes through and see how that's going for them, see if Prosecutor Fisher has any issues with doing it that way. And that'll give this council a good basis to move forward with it.
Absolutely. Is there gonna be a judiciary committee meeting
Yeah.
sometime soon?
I'm looking at the calendar wrong, so June, I like that one, June 2nd. That's the week before.
I should have the information, if you wanna look at it.
Yes.
Keep that at that
Can you
meeting.
make that?
So, yeah, absolutely. I don't think, the letter from the Bryan city attorney may take a little while.
Well,
Or
no,
get her-
it doesn't necessarily have to be a letter
I
from
just get it from
Ms.
I'll
Fisher.
just-
Just if there's any issues. with
I'll
doing it
just,
that way.
I'll try to do an email correspondence and then just print off her reply. Typically, she's pretty good about that.
Just schmooze it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. No, if I had from the other villages, it's good to get her.
Any other questions for Chief Slusher?
No, good deal.
Tell
Good
tell
deal.
Steve we appreciate what he's doing.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that's good.
Judiciary committee meeting.
June 2nd.
June
As
2nd.
long as
Six
the time
o'clock
has
again?
been specified.
Looking at whatever's good for everybody else, 6 o'clock. Okay. June 2nd at 6 o'clock PM.
And it's for what, Rex? It's for the grass?
And Steve's.
Yeah, that's the grass.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you're doing now, so she can?
Not right now, no.
Okay, that'll be the only topic you'll be.
As of right now. We never got to, village parking. We never got that far.
Yeah, why don't we throw in
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah, just to clear it out.
Yep, absolutely.
On the village parking policy.
Okay.
Oh, this is Terry.
6 o'clock.
6
Hey,
o'clock.
Ken, I'll be right back. I'm at a council meeting. Thanks. Was there another one? I'm sorry.
On city parking. We didn't get that far.
Just one quick thing. On this that you want us to sign, and I'll just have to get the three of us, obviously. You've got several things marked in here, is that, it's just to highlight. Well,
Oh, what, no, that's just when I balanced. When I balance on the bank rec, I highlight balances and cross.
okay.
Is there any other?
That, for you guys, this that I passed around, I think I mentioned it the other week, but it's per month, it's just always, well, we've already passed, it's just mayor, she has to have our signatures.
Okay.
It's just basically saying you received the financial report for the packets.
And then the increase in my wages, which you won't notice.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. Try.
If nothing else to present to council, then I
move we adjourn.
I have one thing.
Oh,
Sorry. Just give you a report on yesterday.
Sure.
Excellent.
Oh,
Just excellent.
outstanding.
315.
Great.
Close to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were more even that did,
Purchase.
had purchase tickets but didn't show up and or made donations.
It was fantastic.
It would have been for Rotary, the Loft, all of us going together.
Yeah,
It would have been tough, but it was fantastic.
work together.
Good job. Yeah, it was
work together to get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
No, I still need to. Thank you.
I second.
Second. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll put Joey's signature to it.
Okay.
I'll put Don's
Yeah.
station.
You want to give it when you have the commissioner?
You wanna, yeah,
Questions?
you might tell them that.
Request, okay.
Thank you. Did you have something? Oh.
No. I was wondering if we should just adjourn or make a motion so we're only three.
Oh.
Towards the end of the day, sometime.
Probably, but.
Still on.
The water
Is it?
plant.
Clark Hagan.
Oh, I'd love to, like this stuff that you're talking about, because I'd like to know.
Gary?
Yeah.
Hagan.
It's already got it covered. I'll do that, I'll call you.
All right, yeah, let me give you my card.
Thank you.
See you later.
Yeah, thank you. See you.